Hey Mzansi, as we all know that our President Cyril Ramaphosa was in a meeting yesterday with the USA President Donald Trump in regards with the way forward to the relationship between South Africa and the USA. So our president wasn't alone in that meeting, as we saw some of the big names that were alongside him. People like the billionaire Johan Rupert was also there at the meeting at the White House. These two men who are pro golfers, one is Annie Els on the left, and on the right it's Retief Goosen. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the surname correctly, but that would be my error. They were also present in the White House meeting yesterday. We also got to see that John Steenhuisen from the DA was also alongside the president, who is the Minister of Agriculture. And lastly, it was the president of the Congress of South African Trade Unions, Ms. Zingiswa Losi. So in that meeting, guys, as I tuned in and watched it, there is something that I picked up from our President Cyril Ramaphosa, and that is I feel like our president is not standing his ground on certain allegations that were made by Donald Trump, which were the white genocide in South Africa. So guys, for those of you who don't know what is white genocide is a white nationalist conspiracy theory that claims there is a deliberate plot to cause the extinction of white people through forced assimilation, mass immigration, or violent genocide. So guys, as I've said that our President Cyril Ramaphosa couldn't stand up to the allegations that were made by Donald Trump about the things happening in our country, in South Africa, there is a woman who took a stand on that, and that woman is Zingiswa Losi. This woman made sure that she stood on business. I'll just play y'all a short clip of what she said in response to the whole white genocide.
And I would have thought that the minister would address the issue of land expropriation and how the policy works in South Africa. Recently, President, as you were preparing to come here on the news, in I think it was on Natal, there was a handover of farms, and white farmers were saying, we are donating the land, but also there's a willing buyer, willing seller in South Africa. So there is no expropriation without compensation, but it is a willing buyer, willing seller. And that white farmer was even saying, President, that the government is even paying more in buying the land than what the land is worth of.
And there it is, guys. And what I love about Zingiswa Losi's response to the whole white genocide is that she went on to elaborate that there wasn't any land expropriation. Instead, the white farmers, some of them, they were the ones who offered to give the land back to the government in return of compensation. And as she even said on that video that the compensation is more than what the land is worth, which is something that I feel like John Steenhuisen should have touched on. And she even said it, that she was hoping that the Minister of Agriculture, John Steenhuisen, was going to touch on that, but he failed. Instead, John Steenhuisen was focused on tarnishing the name of the EFF leader, who is Julius Malema, and the MK leader, Mr. Jacob Zuma. And when I say John Steenhuisen was focused on tarnishing the names of Julius Malema and Jacob Zuma, I feel like he was just lost. Whatever he said in this meeting was just so irrelevant. It wasn't even needed. He should have just stayed at home and didn't even attend to this meeting. I'll also play a short video of him on what he was saying.
That the two individuals that are in that video that you've seen are both leaders of opposition minority parties in South Africa. Umkhonto we Sizwe under Mr. Zuma, and the Economic Freedom Fighters under Mr. Malema. Now, the reason that my party, the Democratic Alliance, which has been an opposition party for over 30 years, chose to join hands with Mr. Ramaphosa's party was precisely to keep those people out of power. We cannot have those people sitting in the union buildings making decisions.
And that is the video from John Steenhuisen trying to throw Julius Malema and Jacob Zuma under the bus. And what I loved about this meeting is that as much as John Steenhuisen tried to tarnish the names of Julius Malema and Jacob Zuma, even Cyril Ramaphosa, before John Steenhuisen, when Trump was saying that, why is Julius Malema not arrested for saying that they must kill the Boer and take the land? And Ramaphosa went on to say, in our South African country and constitution, every political party is allowed to express themselves in any way. So I loved that about Cyril Ramaphosa. And then as for John Steenhuisen, he should have just stayed at home. I don't know what he should have just done, but anything other than being on this meeting, because he was just useless and just made stupid remarks about other political leaders. I mean, even Mr. Johan Rupert threw him under the bus as he stated that in the Western Cape, John Steenhuisen is the one who is accountable for everything. But instead, there is a very huge number of crime in the Western Cape, meaning that he is even useless at his own job. So hence I'm saying that he should have just stayed at home because he was just even useless to be there. And though Donald Trump was trying to make the whole meeting about race, what I love is that Johan Rupert tried to shift the whole thing of making the meeting to be about race, and instead he focused more on real things that are impacting South Africans, which is unemployment, which is crime, which is a lot of things, even animal poaching. He also specified that he had donated some drones for security for the animals that are being poached. And I also love that he also showed the stupidity of John Steenhuisen. Other than that, I just feel like Mzansi, our president, just needs to stand on allegations that are not true about his own country, about his own people, and just clarify on certain things that are not true and things that are true. And then another thing, I also want to say that Donald Trump needs to do his research about South Africa and not come and make false allegations and talking a lot of nonsense, saying that he is receiving a lot of complaints. I think it was 1,000 plus complaints from people in white people in South Africa, talking about being killed, talking about being robbed or their land being taken from them. It was just nonsense. He must just do his research and come with facts.